So you've probably heard of the new investment account that's available for children called the Trump account, but maybe you're confused on, is it like a 529? Is it like a UTMA? How can I contribute? Who qualifies for it? Who can open an account? There's a lot of confusion around the Trump accounts. So in this video, I'm going to talk through all things Trump accounts. So first things first, what is a Trump account? Think of it like this. It is similar to a retirement account for your child. Many people would say it's like an IRA. However, your child does not need earned income to contribute to it. The goal of the Trump account is simple: to have an account for your child that is invested in the stock market to seek growth over the long term. So who can open a Trump account? Well, anyone under the age of 18 years old that has a social security number can have a Trump account opened for them. You don't have to be a certain age range. You don't have to be a newborn, anyone under the age of 18. But there's some confusion with that because you might have read something or seen something about this seed money that the US government is giving to children who open a Trump account. That is true. However, that $1,000 contribution from the US government is only for children that are born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st of 2028. If your child is born in that date range, they might be eligible to receive the initial $1,000 contribution from the US government. If your child is not born in that date range, but they are under the age of 18, you can still open a Trump account for them. They just won't get that $1,000 initial contribution. So who can contribute to a Trump account? Well, parents, grandparents, friends, other family members, sometimes even employers or charitable organizations can all contribute to your child's Trump account. And the yearly limit in 2026 is $5,000 a year. And that is collective, not per contributor, but total per account. So if a grandparent wants to give $4,000, the other contributions can only be up to $1,000 more. It's $5,000 total. An important note is this: if your child is eligible to receive the $1,000 from the US government, that $1,000 does not count towards the $5,000 annual limit. These contributions are made with after-tax money and they are not tax deductible. However, as that money grows over time, it is tax deferred on that growth, meaning that no taxes are paid until the money is withdrawn. So you know who can open them, you know who can contribute to them. Where does that money actually go once it's contributed? How is it invested? Generally speaking, the money must be invested in broadly diversified US stock market index funds or ETFs. The focus is long-term investing and simplicity. So what happens to this account when your child turns 18? Once your child turns 18, this Trump account essentially transitions into something more like an IRA. And at this point moving forward, the IRA rules apply. If they take the money out before 59 and a half years old, there will be a 10% penalty plus income taxes on their distribution amount. There are some options to get the money out without the early withdrawal penalty. These are things like higher educational expenses, first-time home purchase up to $10,000, childbirth or adoption expenses up to $5,000 per child, or other IRA early withdrawal exceptions. So can the money be used before traditional retirement? The answer is yes. However, you will have to pay the ordinary income tax on the withdrawal, plus, depending on why that money is withdrawn, there is the potential for an additional 10% penalty. So one of the biggest questions I get is, well, how does this compare to just opening a 529 account for my child? And really, the answer depends on your goal. If your goal is to pay for the future educational costs for your child, well, then the 529 is probably the better route to take. If you just want to get money invested for the long term for your children, then maybe the 529 might not make sense. If you're not sure they're going to use it for educational expenses, maybe the Trump account might be the better fit here. However, keep in mind you could also open a UTMA account for your child, but that does not come with the same tax benefits as the Trump account. The reality is it's not an either or. It's sitting down and understanding what is the goal for this money for my child, and then choosing the right place to put that money, whether that's a 529, the Trump account, or a UTMA account. In my opinion, the Trump account is a really good idea if your child is born between January 1st, 2025 or December 31st of 2028, and you're going to get that $1,000 contribution from the US government. It's hard to turn down that money. So that's a good reason why you might want to open this account. Even if you're going to go down the 529 route or the UTMA route, having this $1,000 contribution from the US government, if your child is eligible, is not a bad idea. So all in all, there's this new account, the Trump account. How does that compare to the 529? How does that compare to the UTMA? But like any financial tool, the question isn't are they good or are they bad? It's just what is the right fit for you based on your goals. If you want to fund educational expenses, 529 is probably the best place. If you want to just have long-term growth, maybe it's UTMA, maybe it's the Trump account. How do I decide between the two? The right account for your children is the one that helps you accomplish the goals that you are wanting to achieve. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. For more information on Trump accounts, go to trumpaccounts.gov. There is no assurance that the techniques and strategies discussed are suitable for all investors or will yield positive outcomes. The purchase of certain securities may be required to affect some of the strategies. Investing involves risks, including possible loss of principal. The opinions voiced in this podcast are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision.